Hello, my name is Paige, and I am one half of We Just Want You to Read. So welcome. Today we are talking about some books I got because I went on a trip to see Daryn. I just got back yesterday and I have a few books that I'd like to share with you all, and let's just get started. So the first place book related that we went was a bookstore that is, I believe it was Black owned and women owned, which is awesome times two. And they did this thing where you got like $10 for hardcovers and I think $5 for paperbacks, unless it came off a certain shelf. But for most of the books, they were just like that. So I was like, I'm gonna get multiple books because of course I am. So the first book I got was a hardcover. Well, they're both hardcovers, but first book I got was a hardcover. It's called The Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Jang. I have seen this book before around, and it's got a gorgeous cover. I mean, look at that. The oranges go with the blues very nicely. So I'm just going to read the summary to tell you what this book's about. One woman's discovery of pleasure alerts her life and indirectly the world. Sensuous and biting, C. Pam Jang's Land of Milk and Honey lays bare the agonies and ecstasies of seeking pleasure in a dying world. After a spreading smog leads to a food shortage, a talented chef escapes to a mountaintop community of the uber rich. Here the air is cleansed, meals are decadent. She emerges from years of bleakness to fall in love again with color, touch, taste, and desire. As boundaries undergo a thrilling erosion, the chef's enigmatic employer and his visionary daughter draw the chef into a startling attempt to reimagine the world. Soon, the chef must weigh the meaning of her choices beyond the plate. Moving from intimate longing to dangerous questions about the ethics and privilege of wealth, Land of Milk and Honey is a rapturous story about the transformative powers of pleasure and one woman's embracing her own appetite. So yeah, a lot going on, but also not a lot. You can kind of see where it's going, you think. I'll have to see if this actually goes where I think it should go. Not should go, but what might go. But I think I've seen this one before, so I was curious, especially when there's the uber rich versus everyone else. I'm very curious. So, Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Jang. Next one I got was actually a Daryn recommendation. I've seen it around a bunch. I tend to lean into buying books that I've already seen before, which I'm trying to get out of, but we'll see what happens. But this one was The Davenports by Crystal Marquise. I mean, look at that cover. I'll tell you one thing. Modern covers are gorgeous. So this book, wow, that's a long summary. In 1910, the Davenports are one of the few black families of immense wealth and status in the changing United States. Their fortune made through the entrepreneurship of William Davenport, a formerly enslaved man who founded the Davenport Carriage Company years ago. Now the Davenports live surrounded by servants, crystal chandeliers, and endless parties, finding their way and finding love, even where they're not supposed to. This is what got me. There is Olivia, the beautiful elder Davenport daughter, ready to do her duty by getting married, until she meets a charismatic civil rights leader, Washington DeWright, and sparks fly. The younger daughter, Helen, is more interested in fixing cars than falling in love, unless it's with her sister's suitor. Amy Rose, the childhood friend turned maid to the Davenport sisters, dreams of opening her own business and marrying the man she could never be with, Olivia and Helen's brother John. But Olivia's best friend, Ruby, also has her sights set on John Davenport, though she can't seem to keep his interest until family pressure has her scheming to win his heart, just as someone else wins hers. The first book in a breathless new series, The Davenports offers a glimpse into a period of African American history often overlooked while delivering a total escapist, swoon-worthy read. Inspired by the real-life story of C.R. Patterson and his family, it's a tale of determined impassioned young black women discovering the courage to steer their own path in life and love. Doesn't that sound fantastic? Thank you, Daryn, for this recommendation. I am going to read this very soon. I have another book that I got that I'm reading now, but this one first. Well, after that one. So then I think on another day we went with to meet up with some people that Daryn knew, and there was a book truck, a book carriage, something like that. It is a truck that carries books on it, and it's like a little store that can be taken anywhere. And I've seen those before, but it was really cute to actually get to go to one and experience one. So I was like, I have to get a book. So, oh, I also got a sticker. So the sticker is, hello, go away, I'm reading. It's bent a little bit, but I need to find a good place to put this. So the book was Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. I didn't see the cover when I picked it up. I just saw the spine, and then I read the summary. So the cover was a nice surprise after I read it. So let me read the summary. Winning the lottery has ruined Opal Devlin's life. After quitting her dead-end job where she earned minimum wage and even less respect, she's bombarded by people knocking on her door for handouts the second they find out her bank account is overflowing with cash. And Opal can't seem to stop saying yes. With her tender heart thoroughly abused, Opal decides to protect herself by any means necessary, which to her translates to putting almost all of her money into buying a failing flower farm in Asheville, North Carolina, to let the flowers live out their plant life destiny while she uses the cabin on the property to launch her artistic career. But her plans for isolation and self-preservation go hopelessly awry when an angry, albeit gorgeous, Pepper Bowden is waiting for her at her new farm. Pepper states she's the rightful owner of Thistle and Bloom Farm and isn't moving out. The likely pair strike up an agreement of cohabitation and butt heads at every turn. Can these opposites live out their dreams and plant roots, or will their combustible arguing and growing attraction burn the whole place down? So, I've, again, heard of this book. I just didn't know fully what it was about. And so by the time I got to the bottom of the summary, I was already hooked. Come on. And so when I looked at the cover and I recognized it, I was like, I'm getting it. I'm sold. So I got that and a sticker at the truck bookstore, and it was a great time. So finally we went to downtown and got some great goodies, some snacks, some lunch. It was a great time. But the final thing we did was we went to another bookstore because my request. We went to, I wish I knew remember the name of all of these. I should have written them down or something, but I do not remember the name of all of them. I think I only remember the book truck's names, Bad Bees, because it's on the bag that I purchased it. I do not remember any of the other names of the other stores, so I'm sorry. But if you're curious, Daryn can give it to me and I can put it in the summary and you guys can see it down below. Okay. This final bookstore, it was really beautiful. It was small, it was intimate, and just overall with books. And I was looking and I was like, I could do another book where I've seen the cover and I just grab whatever somebody says. But then I thought, no, I'm going to talk to the bookseller. So I went over to the bookseller and I was like, I have 2 questions. I said, 1, what is your favorite book to recommend? And she said, well, I don't know. It depends on what you like and what you're looking for. And I was like, no. If we're going that way, here's my question number 2. What's a book you can recommend about unhinged women? And she goes, I got a recommendation for you. I was like, that's what I thought. So she recommended Bunny by Mona Awad. I have heard of Bunny, so I was okay picking it up. But the way she described it, I was like, yeah, this is just chaotic women, and I love it. I had to pick it up. So the summary of Bunny goes, a scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people. Samantha Heather McKay is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University. A clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to the front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part of their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon, her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into deadly collision. Chaotic women. You love to see it. So after talking to the bookseller for a while and grabbing Bunny, I said, hey, last month was Women in Translation Month. I want to beef up my Women in Translation collection. Do you have one? A section for Women in Translation? And she said, we don't have one specifically for women, but we do have a translation section. So she took me over to that, and I just went through the books and found a short story collection that I was pretty pleased with. The Woman Dies by Oko Matsuda. Yes, look at that cover. Oh, you love to see it. This is a collection of 52 short stories, and let's see what the summary says. These contemporary feminist tales from Japan by the acclaimed author of Where the Wild Ladies Are exquisitely blends absurdist humor and sharp societal critique to thrilling and unexpected effect. A collection of 52 short stories and brilliantly innovative short works of flash fiction, The Woman Dies takes as its subject the many varieties of discrimination entrenched within Japanese society, particularly the long, stubborn roots of sexism. With irreverence, inventiveness, and exceptional comedic timing, Matsuda delves into thorny subjects such as the normalizing effect of violence against women on screen, or the degree to which technology deforms our aesthetic sensibilities. Ever on the cusp between seriousness and levity, not so much a roller coaster ride as an entire theme park. The Woman Dies is an out-of-ordinary fictional space for adventurous readers where weirdness and wonder happily coexist. So that took me a second to get through, but I read it and I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I was like, short stories, women, feminism, love it. So I picked this one up. So these are the books that I got. Small collection, but I'm excited to read all of them. And I was happy to get to visit Daryn, so that was fun. So that's all for me. You'll get a video from Daryn next week, and we just want you to read. Bye.